If you're watching this video, consider yourself very lucky. Today, we're diving into an incredible gold trading strategy using Bollinger Bands combined with the power of LuxAlgo. This is your chance to learn a method that not only pinpoints profitable setups but also minimizes false entries. Here's the plan. We'll use Bollinger Bands to identify the perfect setup. And for entry confirmation, we'll rely on one of the most accurate indicators available on TradingView. Let's get started. If you're excited about this strategy, don't forget to leave a like. By the way, to ensure this strategy is both reliable and worth your time, I've tested it 100 times, and the results were truly impressive. Stick around until the end of this video where I'll share a breakdown of my trading results. To get started, we need to set up our indicators on TradingView, the platform I'll be using for this strategy. First, load the trading security you want to work with. While I'll be demonstrating this on the 15-minute time frame for gold, I've tested this strategy on high-volume cryptocurrencies as well, and it works just as effectively. For time frames, I recommend using the 5-minute, 15-minute, or even the hourly time frame, as these have shown excellent results in my testing. Now let's add the indicators to our chart. First, click on Indicators, search for Bollinger Bands, and select the one listed under the Technical section. For the settings, we'll stick to the default configuration. If you'd like to customize the style, here's what I use: white for the basis, red for the upper band, green for the lower band, and I disable the background option for better visibility. Before we move on to adding the second indicator, it's important to understand how we'll use the Bollinger Bands to build this highly profitable trading strategy. For this strategy, we're only focusing on buy trades, no sell trades here. To make things easier, I've created a cheat sheet for you. Feel free to take a screenshot and use it as a quick reference when spotting entries. Now, I know this might seem a bit complex at first, but trust me, it's much simpler than it looks. Once you practice and get the hang of it, you'll be amazed at how straightforward it becomes to identify this setup right on your chart. Let's start with rule number 3. This rule focuses on identifying candles interacting with the middle band. Look for a candle that either crosses below the middle band with a strong bearish close or fully positions itself beneath it. Alternatively, if the price bounces off the middle band, at least one bearish candle is needed as confirmation. Important to note, if no candles make contact with the middle band, the setup becomes invalid. Rule number 2 is all about identifying candles crossing the lower Bollinger Band. Look for a candle where the body or wick has crossed below the band by 50% or more, or a candle that is closed beneath it. If you're unsure, the Fibonacci tool can help. Here's an example. In this case, the wick appears to cross below the lower band, but is it 50% or more? To confirm, use the Fibonacci tool. Draw a retracement from the body to the wick like this. Adjust the settings and coordinates, and you'll see if the crossing meets the 50% threshold. Now let's take a look at rule number 1. Search for a candle that is touched, crossed, or closed above the upper Bollinger Band. Once all the conditions are met, rule number 3 confirms the candle bouncing off the middle band, rule number 2 confirms the candle bouncing off the lower band, and rule number 1 confirms the candle touching or crossing the upper band. We can move to the exciting part, drawing the trend line. And here's how it works. Draw a trend line from point 1 to point 3. The trend line can cross the upper wicks of the candles as it moves downward, but it must not cross through any candle bodies. If your trend line crosses a candle body, the setup is invalid. Finally, we wait for a confirmed break of the trend line. This requires a bullish candle to break and close above the trend line. Once this condition is met, the initial setup is complete. Now we just need one more confirmation using our second indicator. Now that you understand how we'll be using the Bollinger Bands for today's strategy, we need to add the second indicator to our chart. So click on the Indicators tab once again and search for Signals and Overlays by LuxAlgo. This is a premium indicator, but you can get up to 50% off using my link in the description. Now, click to add it to your chart. Now at this point, I know you may be thinking, but what exactly is the Signals and Overlays indicator? This toolkit from LuxAlgo is the most popular for a reason. It's packed with features designed for every trading style. It starts with a wide variety of presets and filters, tailored for trend traders, scalpers, swing traders, or even those who prefer trading against the trend. These presets ensure that no matter your approach, you'll find a setup that fits your style. It also includes machine learning signals, buy and sell signals, and candle coloring that adapts based on market conditions. The candle coloring uses green, red, and purple to indicate strong bullish, strong bearish, and retracement signals, making it easy to spot opportunities and understand market sentiment at a glance. Next are the indicator overlays like the Smart Trail, Neo Cloud, and Reversal Zones, which provide dynamic support and resistance levels. The Smart Trail adapts to market volatility, acting as both a trailing stop and an additional confluence for entries and exits. The Neo Cloud, similar to the Ichimoku Cloud, highlights trend strength and direction, while the Reversal Zones help traders pinpoint potential tops and bottoms for precise trade execution. For beginner traders, the toolkit also comes with automatic take profit and stop loss levels. These levels, displayed in real time, adjust based on conditions like buy and sell signals, indicator overlays, or even custom criteria you set in the alert creator. This feature not only simplifies trade management, but also helps new traders develop a disciplined approach. In the advanced settings, there's an autopilot sensitivity option, which adjusts the candle coloring and buy-sell signals depending on whether you prefer more or fewer trading opportunities to appear on your chart. Short-term settings highlight faster signals for scalpers, while long-term options provide smoother trends for swing traders. This level of customization ensures the indicator aligns perfectly with your goals. Finally, the toolkit includes a dashboard for quick trend and volatility insights, and a custom alert creator with extensive options. These features allow you to automate parts of your trading process, ensuring you don't need to monitor the charts constantly, or even integrate the toolkit into bot trading strategies. Now that we understand how this indicator works, let's fine-tune its settings to perfectly align with today's strategy. We'll start with the basic settings section. Set the presets and filters option to None, signal mode to confirmation and exits, and disable the ML signal classifier. For candle coloring, choose None. For signal sensitivity, I recommend using the optimal sensitivity displayed on the dashboard. Alternatively, you can use autopilot sensitivity and set it to either short-term or mid-term, depending on your preference. Next, in the indicator overlay section, disable the Smart Trail. It's enabled by default. For the dashboard, adjust the size to normal and disable the trend strength option for better visibility. Now, let's move to the Style tab. Since we're focusing only on buy trades, disable the bearish entry signals here. Also, as we don't need exit signals for this strategy, turn off both bullish and bearish exit signals. Once all these settings are adjusted, click OK to save your changes. With our indicators added and set up, let's move on to the most exciting part: how to take a buy trade with this strategy. Let's go over the steps again, but in a simpler way. First, check if rule number 3 is met. For this, one or more candlesticks must have touched or crossed above the middle Bollinger Band. Then, wait for a larger bearish candlestick to close below the middle band. This condition is met right here with this candlestick. Next, look for rule number 2. Check if a candlestick has closed with its wick fully below the lower Bollinger Band. This candlestick right here meets that condition. Finally, verify rule number 1. Look for a candlestick that has touched, crossed, or closed above the upper Bollinger Band. Once all 3 rules are met, draw a trend line from point 1 to point 3. The trend line can cross the upper wicks of candles as it moves downward, but must not cross through any candle bodies. If it does, the setup is invalid. Once the trend line is in place, wait for a confirmed break. This means you need a bullish candlestick to break and close above the trend line. Once that happens, the initial setup is complete. Now, for final confirmation, wait for LuxAlgo's buy signal to appear. When it does, ensure the candlestick closes to confirm the buy entry. Once confirmed, enter a buy trade. For the stop loss, I recommend using either the lower Bollinger Band or the most recent swing low. For profit taking, aim for a 1-to-3 risk-to-reward ratio. And just like that, we've executed a successful buy trade with an incredibly profitable risk-to-reward ratio. As you can see, this is the kind of setup that can absolutely transform your trading results. Before we dive into the backtesting results, let's take a look at another buy trade example. Using the Bollinger Bands, we'll follow the same rules to identify the ideal setup. Start by checking for candles interacting with the middle, lower, and upper bands as we discussed earlier. Once all the conditions are met, draw your trend line and wait for a bullish candle to break and close above it. This validates the Bollinger Band setup. Next, watch for LuxAlgo's buy signal to appear. Once the signal is confirmed with a candlestick close, it's time to enter the buy trade. Set your stop loss at either the lower Bollinger Band or the most recent swing low. And for profit taking, target a 1-to-3 risk-to-reward ratio. And just like that, we've executed another highly profitable buy trade. Now that we've gone through the trade setups, it's time to share the backtesting results. Just as I promised at the beginning of the video, I've tested this strategy 100 times manually on the gold chart, using the 15 minutes time frame, and here are the results. I started with a $1,000 account balance. I use 10% of my account per trade, adjusting as my balance changes with each win or loss. For example, if I profit $100 on a trade, my new balance becomes $1,100, and I use 10% of this updated balance for the next trade. If you want to learn my best strategies for trading crypto, forex, and stocks, check out this video right here.